we are very aware that we're going into Holy Week, and it's very appropriate, I think, that we are going to, again, I hope, I know during this podcast, like we say a lot of stuff, but I hope that we can just find some silence and let the gift of prayer be what it is for people, that we can just enter silence and again, to receive the gift of our identity. But what's unique about this week is the mystical identity is that it doesn't necessarily follow naturally from all the other identities, right? Because the temptation is we've been on a journey, right? Sons become brothers, brothers become men, men become spouses, spouses become fathers. That's awesome, right? And that's the journey of the masculine heart. But what I just want to make really clear as we enter into this next week with our mystical identity is that actually this mystical identity is what shapes and gives fire to all the rest of them from the beginning. Starting with your baptism, this mystical identity was infused into you by the life of God. The Holy Spirit, again, God rended the heavens. The Father opened the heavens and gave you the gift of his life in the Holy Spirit in a profound way. And it's seared into us. I love that word. It's seared into our lives, right? Pentecost is real. My relationship with the Holy Spirit is real. And so the Holy Spirit has been forming you every step of the way in every other identity, right? That's the only way this happens, right? These aren't just natural identities as they might seem, or we don't have to do this by ourselves. It's not a program. The gift of the Holy Spirit, this gift of your mystical identity has been forming you every step of the way. And this mystical identity anchors us in the reality that we're made for relationship and we're made for prayer, right? That word is used a lot. And what we mean by that is we are made to live in intimacy with the living God every single day of our lives. We are made for relationship. And so that's what we mean by this mystical identity, that we are invited constantly for our hearts to be attentive, to be open, to become men and women of prayer. How many times have we said that over and over again on this podcast? That our life of prayer is worth going all in on because that's the center of everything, is the real contact we have with God in prayer.
There's a lot of different ways in which we can look at the mystical identity and dignity of all of the baptized and root them in the life of Jesus. For example, in the book, you focus on, I think you highlight the transfiguration.
Yep.
But I think that for this week, it's appropriate insofar as it's Holy Week, that let's look at how Jesus lived his mystical identity and staying in that relationship even during this time, the time of his passion, right? And because this is true, right? This is true, is that in the garden, in jail, before Pilate, on the cross, Jesus remained in this relationship. Jesus remained in this relationship, and it shows, like, I don't know, in some ways it's the culmination, the climax of this mystical identity of staying in that relationship unto death.